Good morning, Muscatine. It's Wednesday. My Monday finally finished last night. For those of you that were watching Monday, you'll probably remember us sitting at a weird table because something may have happened to this magical desk on the way here because it had been broken. I took it home over the weekend to fix it, got it all fixed, put a whole new top on it, whole 9 yards, right? It may have had a mishap on the right here. Somebody may have pulled out in front of me with the trailer. It may have been super top heavy and gone over in the back and busted all the crap. Like this wing was gone, these side panels were toast, casters were broken. So I took it home yesterday, worked on it, and we now have a completely, essentially, rebuilt table. So hopefully you guys all enjoy the smell of still curing stain. Hi. I'm Chris, I'm the problem. No, but actually I think it turned out pretty well. I mean, considering it was, quick little fly by the seat of your pants thing. But I have some lovely ladies here from Goodwill, the Heartland, Stephanie and Amy. Yep. How are you two? Good. Don't forget to use the mic.
Thank you.
There you go. Stephanie and I have known each other a long time. We don't want to say how long. It's been a while. Yeah. But I got to tell you, one of my favorite experiences of having a downtown business, we bought the building, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 years ago now? I don't know, a long time ago. 12, whatever. And as we remodeled it, my dad and I would spend like all day down there working or whatever, and we'd have a crew of 4 or 5 guys with us. And pretty much every day for lunch for probably a year and a half, we ate at Snackers.
Yep.
And it was a blast. Like, I mean, it got to the point, like, we ate there so much, I don't know if anybody's going to get in trouble for me saying this, but we ate there so much, we actually had a tab.
Yep.
We had a monthly tab.
And we didn't do that for many people, Chris.
No, I appreciate that. And it was great because, like, we could send the guys over and get some Gatorade, whatever. I mean, like, it was super awesome. Heck, there were even a couple times they brought stuff over for us. That's a memory that you guys have put in my family for a long time. And, it just goes to show, and this is something we're going to kind of twist into here, is you guys, I think a lot of people know you for the store, right? Like that's like what's indelled in everybody's mind, but you guys are so much more than that. And for me, Snackers was always that thing. And then, obviously that all had to change. And as the world's changed, you guys have rolled right into what's needed now, which this career center is, the Helms Career Center is a great resource for the community in that job skill development world. So real quick, that's the little tee up, but first let's let you guys introduce yourselves, kind of roll through what you do for Goodwill. And then Amy's going to give us a little bit of the history of Goodwill overall, just so that we have the right context for everything that we're talking about.
Sounds great. So I'm Stephanie Torrance, and I'm our strategic partnership specialist for Muscatine, Clinton, and then our southern regions down through Louisa, Burlington, and Keokuk area. And I'm working on building relationships with community agencies and businesses so they can understand their benefits of partnering with Goodwill as well and what we can do for them.
Awesome. And Amy?
Good morning. I'm Amy Winslow, and I work for Goodwill of the Heartland for about 21 years now. And my role is to support all of our 8 career centers and our occupational skills training, and Stephanie's team, the strategic partnership team.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so a lot of people know us for our stores, but may not know how Goodwill got started. And actually, our Goodwill International has Iowa roots. So there was a Methodist minister named Edgar J. Helms who went to college at Cornell College here in Mount Vernon, Iowa. And he ended up in the Boston area around the turn of the century, 1902. And he immediately saw the inequities and the struggles that the recent immigrants were having, who really wanted to work hard and try to support their families, but there was a lot of discrimination and misunderstanding at the time. And so what he did was he went around to the more affluent neighborhoods and said, hey, do you have some things that you're not using anymore? Do you have some things that are broken or you're casting aside, throwing away? If so, I'll take them. I know some people who can fix them up and sell them to support their families. And so that's how the spirit of Goodwill was born. And now we have over 156 Goodwill regions in North America.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
awesome. I
yeah.
never knew that story, and
Yeah.
I didn't know there were Iowa connections.
And so that's why our career centers are called the Helms Career Centers. We want to honor that
Makes
tradition.
sense.
So the Career Center here in Muscatine has been here since 2014, I believe. And it's free and open to the public. Anyone can come in, and they don't need an appointment. They can walk right in, and people can come in if they're looking for their first job, a better job, or a career. Goodwill can help. We also do a lot of computer skills training, all the way from very, very basic to advanced. And we can connect people with resources in the community. So every stage of running an effective job search is what our career centers can help with. So the resumes, finding positions to apply for, helping people apply online, helping people prepare for interviews, connecting people with businesses, doing job fairs and things like that.
That's awesome. So Stephanie, could you kind of tell people how to get to the Career Center? Like,
Yes.
this sounds crazy, but like,
Nope,
let's
that's a great-
let's use like things that people see. Where do you go?
So we are inside the Goodwill store that's
Yep.
out by the post office.
Yep.
But when you go into our store, we are hidden in the back. If you go straight to the back and to the right, there's a set of restrooms and another door that's us. So there is a big sign on the top. It seems like nobody sees that though.
Of
But
course.
we are the door right before the restrooms, and it's open from.
Is there any statement there? Did they put you back by the restrooms for any reason? Just
Oh, I'm even further back from the
Oh,
restroom.
God.
I'm in a hole behind the Career Center, Chris. That's where I get to stay.
that's well, you know. And
that's all
if it
right.
makes you feel better, that's kind of mine's right next to the bathroom too. So what are you gonna do?
Our Career Center is open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 1 to 5, and Thursday, Friday from noon to 4.
Okay.
It is just part-time right now. Those
Okay.
are our hours.
So let's kind of talk about what this experience is, right? So, you know, it's really easy to like go, okay, here's all the features of what we have and here's the benefit. But let's talk about the experience for these people, right? And for somebody looking for a job, like if somebody's sitting at home right now, what are the mindsets that they might be in that is like, oh, hey, you should come here? Like frustrated with their job, like that sort of thing. Like what are those feelings that people have that would trigger them to come to you guys?
Yeah, I'll say a lot of times we do see an older population come in because everything is online now. So applications, resumes, a lot of them are not comfortable with the digital skills. So increasing their confidence in the digital skills and being able to do a resume and get online and do an application. That's one area I know we see a lot of. I'll let Amy talk about some.
Thanks. So as you know, COVID changed everything.
Right.
More people, even if they're employed, are thinking about, you know, what can I do for the future? What if something like this happens again? And starting to think about career advancement. And so that's our focus too. We want to meet people where they're at. So if they're already employed, but want to develop a career advancement plan, we'll do some assessments, talking with them, showing them the labor market information, helping them choose what kind of career that they want, and then we'll figure out, okay, what kind of training do you need? What kind of education do you need? And we'll figure out the best way for them to do that. And then one of the most important features is that we really support people. So we know that everybody needs support and help throughout their lifetime sometimes. It's just like how much and when, right?
Yep.
And one of the big barriers that many people are facing right now is childcare. There's just not enough childcare. There's not enough good transportation. There's not enough affordable housing. We can't solve all those problems, but we have really close relationships with agencies that we can work together to help people figure that out. College isn't for everybody at this moment, so sometimes these short-term credential trainings that people can do online at 2 in the morning when they're bottle feeding their baby. We have a lot of people that are in the 4 a.m. club finishing their online credentials. Because that's what it takes sometimes. So I think just some flexible planning helps people with the career advancement.
Yeah, so essentially, you know, if you're sitting at home and you're frustrated, if you're maybe even disheartened a little bit about your current position, you know, you're concerned about where you're going to be 4 or 5 years from now, those are the things, if you're feeling those, that's the time to swing into the job center, right?
Yeah. Great point. We have partnerships with all of the community colleges, so we don't compete, we work together.
Yep.
We can't offer every training, and so we really do a lot of referring back and forth and
Yep.
working together because everybody deserves that opportunity to thrive, and there's a solution for everybody to help them get
Yeah.
to that next step.
And that's one thing we talk about on the show a lot is the way the agencies, nonprofits, and even the government offices in this community have gotten significantly better at working together. And we talk about, is it perfect all the time? No. I mean, are there still gaps and whatever? Yes, there are. But as a general rule, everybody does a great job of, nope, that's not us, but we know that's, fill in the blank. That's MCSA, that's Salvation Army, that's the Iowa Career Center, it's the, whatever it is, right? And the education that the community's done amongst the agencies about what everybody else does has been tremendous. And that's where, I mean, it was that function that led you and I to talk about the Career Center for the first time. I don't even know how long ago it was.
Right.
And just like for me, with what we do, and now let's go ahead and dive into some of these programs here. So like one of the things that you guys offer is like a social media, Google, like that whole digital environment that my company lives in. You have certification courses for those, which are great. I mean, it's like something that I as an employer am looking for, because you don't have to be able to do everything. You need to be able to do a handful of things. So what all do you have in that magical toolbox of stuff? I mean, because there's a ton of stuff, people.
Yeah. Okay, I can take that one.
Fire away.
I can start. So we have a really nice mix of some short-term credential trainings that take anywhere from a week to 4 or 5 weeks. Those are things that are kind of more entry level, but can help somebody get into a job and maybe help them get a little better position than if they didn't have them. So for instance, our ServSafe food handler, our ServSafe food protection manager, like assistant managers and managers would have that because they're responsible for all of the safety in the restaurant. Right. And then we have a whole suite of, no pun intended, hospitality trainings that people can pick and choose from. So we have industry recognized credentials for guest service professional, which is really all around hospitality, customer service, specific positions like breakfast attendant, guest room attendant, front desk representative, and maintenance technician. And some people choose to take more than one of those so that they can really be valuable in the hospitality industry. Hospitality has really bounced back. There's a huge demand. There's a lot of opportunities. I worked in hospitality for years and saw that, if you make yourself valuable and know a lot of positions, then you can continue to move up. There's lots of opportunities for more credentials. And then we also have customer service and sales. Those are short term. The longer term courses that are like 12 to 16 weeks, and they're a combination of online instruction included with virtual live instruction from our instructors, and then we have open office hours too, which people can attend in person or virtual. And those are things that you've heard about, our Google Careers courses. So we have IT support professional, which is just applicable to every industry. Every industry now, every business now has some IT needs. And that's a great gateway into the IT field. So a lot of businesses advance people from that position once they prove themselves.
Well, and like I've looked at, so there's also like Facebook, the Facebook courses, like I kind of looked through them, and they're actually fairly similar to the ones that so we're a Facebook partner. We're a Google partner as well. And so they're very similar to the ones that we do for our credentials, right? And so, it would be very easy, like if somebody had taken one of these and they were to start working with us, it wouldn't take very long for them to be able to move into the full professional certification that's on like the partner side, right?
Yes.
And that's, what I find is interesting, what I love about this concept is everybody knows social media, right? Everybody knows Google, right? Or they know how to handle safe food. Well, sort of. Like you know how to use the consumer side of Facebook, right? But using the business side is entirely different, right? You're talking about algorithms, like how often you're posting, what you're doing, what the ads look like. Like there's a whole slew of stuff. And it feels like you should know it because you see Facebook ads, you see all this stuff, but maybe somebody who's good at social media, like they've got a ton of followers on their own or whatever, they have that raw skill set, like they have the talent, right? But it takes the formal education
Right.
on those topics to be able to really apply it, right? And that's where I think this is great is, you know, if somebody has like a love of social media or whatever it is, right? Get the training, and then you could, like with us, you could have clients all across the country that you're working on social media for, and you can do it from Muscatine, right?
Right.
You can do it at 2 a.m. You can be building out some business's social media calendar for them to review and approve, and it was all from this course,
Right.
and then you know that gets you in the door, and then we add like the real life flavor to it, so to speak, and then you're out the door.
Right.
Not out
You're-
the door.
you're exactly right.
No, you're in the door. You're in. You're not out the door. You're like off to the races, I think was the
So
colloquialism
the
I meant.
curriculum and the credentials and the certifications are designed so that people are work ready, and yeah, they get the hands-on experience when they start working. Some people are using this experience to for their own businesses or to start a new business and be able to promote it.
What-
Especially downtown, some of the smaller downtown businesses in Muscatine, you know, this is very beneficial for. You can't hire somebody to do the social media for you a lot of times.
You
so-
can. We're not that expensive. We actually can help. We're super
But you
affordable.
can also do it.
Well, no, I don't get. Well, I've got it. Yes. Yes.
We have a couple
Yeah.
success stories that might help paint a picture for
Yeah.
people what it might look like. So in a nearby community, a young single mom named Davina had 2 small children, and she had a strong interest in social media and digital marketing and things like that. And she was working, but just was not making ends meet, and was using a lot of the state public assistance, which is appropriate when you need to support your family. When she learned about our training, in just about 12 weeks, she got through the training, earned the credentials, passed the certification exam, and got on full-time with a hospital, full-time with benefits, making $1,100 more a month than she was making before, and has greatly decreased the amount of public assistance that she needs to be able to support her family. And that's exactly what we're trying to do, is to take those steps to being more independent.
Well, and it's, the one thing that I love about how you guys approach this is you're not trying to take this huge bite, right? Like, it's not like you're going from, I graduated from high school 5 years ago. I want to look at a new career. I'm going to go back and get a 4-year degree. You know what I mean? And then you got to take this time off or whatever, right? Or it's night school for a long time, whatever. These are like small practical steps that you can take to move to the next level. Because again, honestly, I would rather, if we're looking for a social media manager for helping our clients, I would much rather take someone who's world experience in one of these types of courses than a fresh grad with a college degree, because the college degree doesn't teach them, here's the functional stuff you need to do in Facebook to make it all happen, because that's what we need, right?
Yeah.
Now, the college grad could probably learn it, but then we got to teach them, we got to do all this other stuff. If you come with that, you're ready to roll.
There's a lot of value in both. We
Well,
have
yes,
we have
that's-
worked with people who are
Right.
adding this credential to their degree,
Yes.
whether it was recent or long ago, and that's just helped them be more marketable.
Exactly, and
Get
that
the
was
job
kind
that
of
they want,
that
yeah.
was where I was actually
And not
trying to go.
everybody
Yeah.
has the time or the situation or the financial readiness to be able to get a 4-year degree.
Right.
And that's why it's important to have options.
Yep,
some
and
good flexible
that's
options.
to my point.
Yeah.
It's that next great first step. We talk about this a lot. The early childhood group. So Kim Warren and Jesse Frears were here last week, and that first step is getting your kid into preschool, right? Here it's okay. I'm feeling frustrated. I'm feeling exasperated. I'm feeling disheartened by where I'm at. Getting that first step is critical, right? And these are low threshold. There's no barriers, because here's the thing. Talk about the cost of this.
Right. Oh.
We haven't
I
even
can start
talked
with that.
folks.
Okay, so
This is-
every single service that people can come and do with Goodwill is absolutely free to participants.
Yep.
So we want people to access all of these opportunities. So we know that when parents can earn a higher income and have a vision for that future, that's helpful for their whole family, for their family stability. Children attend school more often. People have housing, stability, things like that. And so it's absolutely no cost.
Well, and here's, like the Facebook. So this is like, I don't know, Chris, can you say at least a little bit of this? So this is like all the stuff, but like these Facebook courses, the Marketing Pro, the social media marketing one, if you, on the professional side, these are $600 to $800 a pop. And you're going to have the same basic training when you get done with this that we get for our official, like, full-blown partner certification. So,
Right.
You're going to be right where you need to be. So.
And it's a great place for businesses to use if they want to upskill the employees they have. If they have employees that are looking to take some of the classes and move up, and then you can open those entry-level positions and fill them a little bit easier too.
Well, and it also goes to like a cross-training function, right? Like, you think of a store, like a Hy-Vee or somewhere where there's a chunk of employees and they're doing social media and they're doing all this other stuff. The more people that are fluent in it, the better, right? Because maybe, Group A doesn't see something, Group B does. Well, they can still go ahead and grab the footage, they can grab the this and that, they can put it out, and they all know that they're talking the same language, and they're going to be able to keep that overall message and voice cohesive.
Yeah.
So that's my little, I love this. I gotta tell you, I love.
Yes.
Yeah, I love this. I think it's. So what else is here? Like, there's more. There's like.
Well, and we also support. So anybody coming through our program, we support for a year after they get their job too. So we're not just going to say, "Oh, great, you found what you want. Go, do your thing." We want to make sure they're happy there. If they come back and want to do something else, they're like, "Ooh, I really like this field. I want to take the next one." And we're going to continue to support them and make sure they're successful and happy with what they want to do. And everything is customized personally to them. And that's for a business too. If we work with a business, I sit down and I meet with you guys and we talk about what your needs are, where you're struggling and what we can do to help. And if we can't help, we try to make connections so we can partner you with the people that can help.
That's awesome. Do you have anything else you want to touch on? I mean, like we've talked about a whole bunch here, and so we don't want it to be like drinking from a fire hose, right?
Sure. So much.
But I mean, gee, okay, here, just let's. This is, and I've got all this stuff at my office. This is like how much info is like available to you, like all the stuff they have, like career services, what it's like to work there, which we should probably talk about that for just a second, for sure. Veteran services, like, guys, like, seriously, there is just, if you're in the career thought process at all, call Stephanie, stop out. Well, I don't know, can they call you? Yeah, okay, I assume so. I just didn't want to like put my foot in my mouth. But like, if nothing else, have that initial conversation, right? Maybe there's a fit, maybe there isn't. But you're not going to be able to get all this on the show. Like, it's all like up there. So make sure you take advantage of it.
So, speaking of taking advantage of it, I want to take this opportunity to talk about what a great place to work Goodwill is.
Yes.
So our mission is we help people reach their full potential through education, training, and the power of work. And that includes our employees too. There's a reason that Stephanie and I have been with Goodwill for a long time. Every single person who works for Goodwill, whether it's in one of our retail stores or helping people get jobs, things like that, is part of our mission. Every employee has the opportunity to thrive, to advance, to learn new things, to earn more money. I started out working with students 21 years ago, and now I'm working for the whole agency, different parts of our territory. So very competitive wages, great benefits, fun place to work. Some of my best friends work for Goodwill.
I agree. I mean, I started at Snackers.
Yep.
And I've just continued to grow and advance with the company, and it's been a great place to be. And I really love the mission and what we're doing and the fact that we can help anybody.
Well, it would be easy to love what you do, right? Like, I mean, again, we all think of like the store. In the store, like quick plug, like go buy stuff at the store because
Right.
that's what
That's what's
supports
helping
all
this.
this, right? You know, but you think of that, and you know, you think of like, oh, it's the end of the year, let's get our donation together. You know, like there's all that, but like also if you know someone that's you're seeing these things, like you know they're frustrated, or if you know that they have capabilities and talents that they're not using, right? Like, hey, get them, you know, maybe pick up some info on the Facebooky thing or, you know, whatever it is, and, you know, slide it into their DMs or something, right? Like, because sometimes it just takes that little piece of encouragement from someone, or, and, you know, if you can get them there, I know Stephanie can pick it up and run, right? Like,
Right.
so, it's just kind of this great resource that even if you're not thinking, oh, I'm not looking for a career, it's great information to have in the back of your mind, because chances are in today's world, somebody you know is, right? Like, I mean, so, and I think that's, and I think you guys could probably speak to this as well, that's what makes the community stronger, right? Is when, you know, somebody hears something here and they're like, oh yeah, that would work for so-and-so. I'm going to shoot them a quick text, right? I'm sure you see that often,
Yes.
right? And are there any you can think of off the top of your head? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Ooh.
Any
Well-
good stories? Well, just any good stories.
Oh, I have one of my best friends made a huge change after doing hair for years. I won't say how old we are because
we're not old.
We're not old.
We're not old. You know what's funny? Just side note, because you'll appreciate this. In the last like 2 weeks, we've had like 4 from like our age-ish on the show. Every time we all say that same thing. We're not like Willie Leza and like
Yep.
Jesse Ferd's. Like, we're not talking about. There's no way we are the adults of the world now. I don't know how this has happened.
That's true.
But we got
here.
adulted.
I know.
We got adulted.
So
But-
she made a career change, never had to use computer skills, and
Oh, right.
was going into kind of a receptionist position. So I hooked her up with our digital skills training, and that helped her land a job, and she's thriving and doing amazing in her new position.
That's awesome, and that's like literally right here in town.
Yeah.
It happens, you know. And again, I'm gonna toss this out there to people. Like, if that is the world, like they've got stuff outside of the digital arena, like we talked about. But if that is, it's all stuff you can do for. You could, if you want to start your own business in that world, kind of like what we do, or if you wanted to work with us, there's a plethora of opportunity out there. If you just kind of take that first step and say like, hey, this is something cool, there's a lot of opportunity out there. So
There is.
holy cow, that's a lot. So
That's
we're
a
gonna do a
lot.
quick recap. I always do this because if I can remember it, I figure they can remember it, right? So the Helms Center, named after, we're gonna go with Mr. Helms because I don't remember his first name, but it all started at Cornell, right? And here in Iowa. And we're gonna do the quick plug for the store again: shop, donate, work, right? But the Career Center itself, it's kind of, you go into the store, it's back off to the right, kind of by the restrooms. They're there not all the time. Sounded like most mornings.
Afternoons.
Oh, afternoon,
Yep.
sorry, I was close.
You're good.
It was either morning or afternoon. I had a 50-50 shot, right? But career training, everything from hospitality, the digital world like Google, Facebook, there's food service, there's veteran services, there's
something for everybody.
there is, yeah, like I'm just hitting the highlights, but yeah, there is really something for everybody. If you can't make it out there, give her a call. And again, the key note for all this, it's free. There's no cost. It's handled, right?
You can get online at goodwillheartland.org and you can look over some information. We have some contact forms on there where you can, put your email and phone number on there, and we can get back to you and just visit with you about what you're looking for.
Awesome. Well, ladies, is there anything else major you want to throw out there?
I want to thank Muscatine. This is a great community. So many generous people donating things that we get to turn around and sell to help people get good jobs, good careers, great lives. It's just amazing how it works. So thank you, Muscatine.
Well, and thank you to you two for dedicating your careers to making it all happen. So
We have a great community.
yeah. So, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You'll be back again, I'm sure. So, hey, anytime. So Muscatine, you heard it. Get your new career started. Go shopping. You know, just be a normal Muscatine person. That's all for today.